As a young bloke growing up in the mid-80s, it was all about Jason Dunstall. Absolutely idolised Jason for what he was, the player he was. I'm going to celebrate him this morning. We celebrated James Hird earlier at number 7 and the Chief, Jason Dunstall, at number 6. Could arguably be at number 1, so we'll debate that as the morning goes on. But look at this record, 269 games, the third most goals of all time, 1,254, 4 premierships, 3 Colemans, 12-time leading goal scorer, 4 Hawthorn best and fairest, and he's been equally as influential off the field with what he's done for the Hawthorn Football Club. But we'll start with just his marking and his power. Like, he had an amazing ability to protect space like no other forward in the game. So, such a smart person, Jason. You see how intelligent he is off the field. Well, he was equally as intelligent on the field with his ability just to protect the space of the ball. So even he'd get on a hard lead, he'd stop, prop and see that it was going to go over his head and protect the space of the ball. And that's why I said I idolised Jason. Even that tap down, spin, snap around his body. So he was a complete player, Jason Dunstall, and he was just it's why he's a legend in the AFL Hall of Fame for what he could do for the club, captain as well. And could do anything really in the game, Jason.
And there was a longevity component to it in the end, wasn't there, Lotto? He got banged up late, but he still performed. Yeah. And you mentioned the strength, but the explosive nature in which he played footy too, and the timing of the leads and the footy smarts and the preparedness to take on all comers and all moments and all parts of the play. It wasn't just the lead out, take the mark, go back and kick a goal. He was actually really agile for a guy who did carry a lot of size and a lot of bulk, and is still a very strong person even today. But there wasn't much he couldn't do. Right. And in the era in which he played, they often cleared out the forward line. But as we're seeing here, that these are goals being kicked in play on the ground, and he's still dominant in these moments. And he's able to get through passages and blockages. And it wasn't just the old-fashioned sort of stereotypical situation where he would lead out, take the goal, and go back and kick a goal. That's what he did so many times. But look at this. And some of this is on the wrong side of the body too, Rory.
Yeah, he's so skillful. But I love, like, you talk about being a smart footballer. He checks his shoulders, like head check, just to make sure no one's around, so he knows and understands he's got time and space.
You talk about culture in football clubs, and when I was at Hawthorn, they still talked about what Jason would do, and it was all about honing your craft and being really good at that. But his defensive pressure inside forward 50, which we built our three-peat on, was our defensive work inside forward 50. But he won 4 premierships. But he played well, and it probably doesn't get talked about enough how well he played in these grand finals. He kicked 6, 7, 4 and 6. So they're pretty good numbers, Rory.
In grand final. Winning grand finals. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that you showed that package, Damo, because I think a lot of people who forget, they think he was a lead-up, hit-up, go back, have a shot, lead-up, hit-up. But he, as I said, he was as athletic for someone of that size as anyone that we've seen in the game. But he did kick the 100, Damo, 6 times.
Yeah, he did. And you did it twice, and that's an amazing achievement. Chief's done it, and he even forgets now the moment when it came. But to do it 6 times, he's only one of 27 in the history of the game, VFL, AFL, to kick 100. He's only 21 living people to have done so. And he did it 6 times. And just to get your head around that, even though it's a different era, Rory, just to get your head around the fact that he reached the 3 figures on 6 separate occasions, and inclusive within that was a season in 1992 where he kicked 145.
Is he one of the best set shots, or he'd be top 3 behind Lordo and maybe Plugger? Is he one of the best set shots that has played the game?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to mount the Jason Dunstall case in that argument, you're going to win as well.
And I always looked at like the past and the previous best set shots, and they all had simple technique, Lord. I know you're big on it, but his technique was so simple and so honed in, it's no wonder he kicked 100.
And I did run out for one of those centuries too.
Oh, you did? You were there?
Did you? One of my best mates growing up was a mad Hawthorn supporter, so I'd go with the family, and the Adelaide Crows at Waverley, I ran out.
How close did you get?
No, not close enough to touch it.
Well, 1989, he played State of Origin as well, and what about the forward line? So you had Dunstall, this was the full forward line. Dunstall, Lockett, Ablett.
That was the narrative, wasn't it? It can't happen, you can't do that. Yeah. It worked beautifully.
And even that was in the first minute where he decided to pass to Lockett when he could have gone back and had a shot himself. And they both hit the scoreboard. They kicked 5 and 4 goals respectively. And, yeah, they just lit it right up in this game. And even though he was and still is a very, very proud Queenslander, lit it up for Victoria.
Well, I don't think we'll ever get back to the days of seeing full forwards do it the way they've done it. A little bit this year, we're seeing more goals, Rory, but This is when footy was just absolutely flying. These big key forwards coming out of the square, and Dunstall was one of them.
Damo said a very proud Queenslander, so it was somewhat fitting, wasn't it, in 1994 that he should actually chalk up his 1,000th goal, and it was against Brisbane in Brisbane. So
look at the celebrations here, Sergio.
Yeah.
Watch him celebrate this.
He's not a big celebrator, Bung.
Pretty understated. So, I mean, that was just one of his crowning glories. And you mentioned a little earlier about how he got banged up in his career, particularly late in his career. Don't forget, in 2015, suffered a horrific injury with the depressed fracture of the skull.
15? No.
Yeah. I beg your pardon?
2015.
Oh, sorry. I forget when it was.
Well, during his career, yeah. It was, it might have been career-ending at one stage.
Yeah,
it was terrible. He was back about 6 weeks later, still kicking goals.
And
but
hence the head guard.
The head guard, yeah. The bell helmet, as we often joke with him on Triple M. Lordo, look, he was banged up late, wasn't he? But he still impacted. And I remember the merger game, the famous merger game, where he kicked 10 goals to help them win that game. And even in 1998, when he returned, having not played since round 14, to fare well the competition.
And it was a brutal game when you were full forward back in those days, and you had some nasty full backs, and this was a big talking point when Craig Kelly went pinchy on him, Damo. So I had Stephen Criddock whack my hand and all those sorts of things, but he just did not relent, Craig Kelly.
It's a brave man, though, Craig Kelly. He's got more bravery than I thought he had until this moment, because I wouldn't take on Chief at anything. He's still got the biggest forearms of any person I've ever seen.
And chest.
And chest.
That's 2 alpha males going up.
Yeah. I think Chief had him covered. But just playing late in your career, Lord, I mean, you didn't play as late age-wise, but just knowing your body doesn't quite allow you to do what you once did. Yet, look at him. I mean, he can barely walk
on the ground.
He came back in this game, round 22, 1998, v Fremantle. He had 5 shots at goal, kicked 2 goals, but he hadn't played since round 14 that year and was banged up all year, and yet still contributed right to the very end.
Absolutely, and I know the young players at all, you see, like the Crows and the Hayes, they just idolised Chief, like the way they spoke about the Chieftain. And I did see celebrate, I think one of his last footy trips to Chief, he was on fire in London, so I got to celebrate a good night in a dungeon nightclub with the Chief, which was very...
Okay, just move on.
Well, the Chief was good enough to give us a message.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Chief was quite happy with number 6, but he was good enough to do a message for us. Thanks, Chief.
Hey Lloyd, I just wanted to say thank you for considering me worthy of being in the best players list. Number 6, it's not overly impressive, but it's there, I guess. Most people expecting you reserving the top 1, 2, 3 spots, probably for yourself and a couple of others, and that's fair enough. That's all good. Hey, did you realise that for apparently 9 or 10 weeks, way back when, Nathan was the best player in the game? Apparently. I hope that's not enough to get him in the list. I'd be horrified to share the same list as him. Anyway, I appreciate the consideration. It is a great privilege, and I hope you have a great one. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Chief. One of the great all-round people, can do it all, the Chief. So, no, what a career he had, and it's nice to celebrate it this morning.
And a great media career, too.
One of the best.
I mean, aside from football, he's forged a very, very good media career and continues to do so.